All right, good morning and welcome back. So just so you guys are all aware, as you know, we are switching to virtual learning until at least January. Okay, so it'll be at least through the end of this semester. Okay, so what that means, each day you're going to have some of your classes. If we look here at the schedule, on Mondays and Wednesdays, you'll have first period, either 4, 5, or 6, depending on what you have, and then ninth and 11th. Okay, and then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you'll have second, 6, 7, 8, 10th, and impact. Okay, so if you're in my geometry class, that's Monday, Wednesday, you're either having me for first period or 11th period. Okay, and I want you to try your best to be at these meetings. I will be taking attendance and reporting that in Skyward. And I'd like you guys to do your best to be there because, as you guys know, if you ask questions, it's going to be way easier to get a quick answer if we're doing a Google Meet as I'm doing the notes versus if you guys are watching a YouTube video and you have to email me. It's just an easier response, a quicker response, and hopefully a better understanding for you. Oops. So this begins today. So let's give it a try. Please don't give up on me. If you had last year, most of your grades probably stayed exactly where they were or went up. This year, it's different. We're more prepared. We know how to use It's Learning. We know how to use Delta Math. We know how to use Google Meet. So because of that, grades can go down. So please don't be lazy. You've put in, 15, 16 weeks of hard work. Finish it out. Make sure you get the grade you deserve. If you have any questions, please reach out. And I forgot to mention on the schedule, Monday through Thursday, every day I have an office hour from 2:45 to 3:30. Okay, Fridays, that'll be a little different. I'll talk about that more when it comes to Friday. But please let me know if you need any help. So today, we're going to talk about when we have triangles or quadrilaterals or really any polygon, so any close-sided figure. And if we have congruent polygons, then they have congruent corresponding parts. Okay, what that means is if we look at this one, like triangle MLN is congruent to triangle QPR. That means M as the first letter will match up with Q, the first letter. L is the second letter, that'll match up with P, the second letter. N will match up with the R. So if we look here, if I'm told to find what angle 1 is, I know that angle 1 is going to be angle L, which we look up here. L was the second letter, so the second letter over here is P. We look down at angle P, that has a box in it, that is 90 degrees. So we know angle 1 will also be 90 degrees. Now angle 2 here, same approach. Angle 2 has an N, so N is the third letter, which means it matches with the third letter here. R is 40 degrees, okay? And so we get 40 degrees. Now, if I had asked what angle M was up here, hopefully you guys would know. If this is 90 and that's 40, we can add those together to get 130, take it from 180, because every triangle adds up to 180. You'd find out what angle M is. Okay, so now, same idea on number 2 here. ABCD is congruent to FGHI. So B has angle 1. Angle 1 is with letter B. And angle B is the second letter. So we go over here to the second letter, which is G. That'll be 95 degrees. And angle 2 is letter C, which is our third letter, so it matches with H. We get 60 degrees. Now, these ones are pretty easy, pretty obvious how they matched up. That's not always the case. We got to be careful and remember the congruence statement is what takes precedence. That, not what the picture looks like. We got to go based on the congruence statements. So right here, these triangles, you got to be careful how it matches up. It's actually a reflection here. But it tells us triangle ABC is congruent to triangle XYZ. So that means AB, segment AB, those are the first two letters, so they will be congruent to segment XY, the first two letters. If we look here, A corresponds to, so A is first, so it corresponds to X. B is second, so it corresponds to the Y. Now, segment ZY is congruent to, so ZY is third second, so CB. Segment CB. Now, when you're doing this on It's Learning, you're not going to be able to put these symbols, so you could just type CB as your answer. But if you are actually writing it out, we need to put like segment, angle, whatever the signs are. Now, on number 5, angle Z is congruent to, we see Z is the third, so it'll be C. Angle C. Here, angle BAC, so second, first, third, is congruent to YXZ. And finally, angle B, that's the second one, is congruent to angle Y. Now you'll notice for all of those, I did not look at my picture to determine those. You could use your picture if you had them correctly oriented and you know how it's working. But the congruent statement, in my opinion, is easier. 1 goes with 1, 2 with 2, 3 with 3, and that's how it always is. So like here, it says list each of the following. 4 pairs of congruent angles. I don't even have a picture, but I know that the shape FOUR is congruent to MANY. I don't even need a picture. All I need to do is 1 with 1, 2 with 2, 3 with 3, 4 with 4. So for example, angle F, angle O, angle U, angle R, we know that each of those is congruent with the same one, the same place value. So F has to go with angle M, O with angle A, U with angle N, because it's the third one, and the fourth one is R, so that will go with angle Y. Now, for 4 pairs of congruent sides, if we think about it, this one was triangle ABC. We had AB, BC, and CA. It'll still be the same, so it'll be the first two. So FO, segment FO, would be congruent with the first two, so segment MA. Then we'll do second and third, so segment OU is congruent to AN. Segment UR is congruent with NY. Now we have one more. We only have 3 sides. The last side maybe is a little tougher to see, but RF, it loops back around, and that one is going to be congruent to YM. Now, all of these could be the opposite way. For example, instead of RF, we could have done FR. It doesn't matter. Just like up here, AB or BA, both of them mean the same thing. Okay, segments can go either way. So we look down here. Number 10, find the values of the variables. So we have this statement, ABD, triangle ABD is congruent to CDB. So if you look at that, ABD, and CDB, as you can see, both of them trace this angle ABD or CDB, so those will have to be congruent. Okay, so all we have to do is set that equal. 5x equals 75. We divide by that 5, and if we divide by 5, we will get x equals 15. Okay, our second one, triangle XYZ is congruent to triangle FED. So on this one, we need to find an x and a y. Down here is the x, 3x. We know EF, that'd be second first, so that's the same as YX. So that 3x equals 9. We divide by 3. We get x equals 3. Now up here, the y is part of angle D, which is our third one. So that matches with Z, so that's 30 degrees. So all we have to do for this one, 2y equals 30 degrees. We divide by 2, and we get y equals 15. Okay, we're almost done. This final one here. We look here. This one does not have a congruent statement, but we have congruent markings that tell us some stuff. So if we think about it, this angle has this congruency marking, that's 74. That could also go over here. Now likewise, 5x and this angle, they are what we call vertical angles, so that'll go there as well. So now we know, if we look here, every triangle, what are the 3 angles add up to? Hopefully you know it's 180. So I can do 5x plus the 3x plus 2 plus 74, and all of that will equal 180. Combine your like terms, so 8x plus 76 equals 180. We'll subtract this. And I'll get 8x equals 104. And from here, all I have to do is divide by 8, and I will get x equals 13. Okay, so we're just about done for the day. A few final concepts. Anytime we have a triangle, this third angles theorem tells us, if two of the angles are congruent, we know that the third angle is also congruent. Okay, now the reason this is the case, say A and D were congruent, they were both 50. B and E were both 60. That adds up to 110. Since both triangles add up to 180, we know that C and F would both have to be 70 in that scenario. There's no way they could not be congruent. So if two of your angles are congruent, we know the third one is congruent as well. All right, so our final thing here. If you want, go ahead, pause the video, see if you can fill in some of this. But LC, and you got to be careful here because LMC goes with BJK. Some of you might think that L and K match up. They don't. It's actually reflected here, but we can tell based on this that L matches with B, M with J, and C with K. So if we look here, LC would go with BK. KJ would go with CM. All right, JB with ML. Angle L is going to go with angle B. Angle K with angle C. Angle M with angle J. We don't have to finish all of them, but how about let's do 18 here. MLC, triangle MLC. So MLC, second, first, third, would go with triangle JBK. Okay, so that is how we would figure those ones out. Once again, L corresponds with B, M with J, C with K. So we're just about done here. We got these last few values we want to look up. And we know we're trying to find what T is and what the X is. So this angle T here, or the side segment 2T, that's from the LK, which is second, first. So we look over here, BA, that matches up with the 4. So we know then that those will be congruent. So 4 is equal to 2T. We can divide by 2. We get T equals 2. Now up here, 3x, that's angle M. M is the same as C. So if I wanted to, I could also put a 3x right here. 90 plus 45 plus 3x, all of that will add up to 180. So 90 plus 45 gives us 135. We'll take 180 minus that. We get 45, and then 45 equals that 3x. So we divide by 3, and we find that x will equal 15. Okay, so we're just about done. The final one, we look here. This would be angle DAC. So DAC, third, first, second. So third, first, second, BAC. So those two angles have to be congruent. So we can set 30 equal to 6x. We divide by 6, and we'll get x equals 5. So there is a brief It's Learning assignment for today. Please get it done. Okay, the way I'm going to really be stressing is if people are not getting the work done, then I'm going to have to be calling home, getting parents involved, guardians, coaches. We got to figure out a way to keep you guys motivated, okay? And if me asking you to do it isn't enough, then I'll have to find someone that is able to motivate you. So please help me out. Just get it done. It's not very long. It's only a few questions. It won't take more than probably 10, 15 minutes. And let me know if you have any questions. So hope you guys have a great day. Bye.